Next guy, it's the first time he's here. He came from Arizona to be here tonight. And I told him, like, you understand you're not getting paid, right? He's like, yeah.
What?
What? Oh, oops. We're going to have to talk after the show. No, I'm looking forward to see this guy, Joel Cooper.
Fucking tall people. So, yeah, I came in from Arizona to be here. Thanks to Brian for bringing me out and telling me I'm not getting paid. Now that hooker in my room's gonna have to wait till tomorrow. For something, I don't know. Anybody got any money knowing on me? I got stood up by Uber when I got here. Waited for 2 hours at the airport, nobody showed up, so I called Lyft. We got canceled on with Airbnb when I got here. Something's definitely wrong with me. These people don't want to hang out with me or see me or nothing, and now I'm not getting paid. The shit, I'm gonna have Palmolive hands by the time I'm done washing dishes. They say your day starts off with a good night's sleep, and last night I actually slept like a baby. I woke up 3 times crying and hungry, and I shit myself. So I went to Walmart to get baby wipes, and while I was there, I noticed that they have generic Oreos. Have you guys seen these now? I thought that's weird. I thought maybe that's for people that can't afford real Oreos. So maybe they should call them Porios. It made more sense. But if you're like me, I can't even afford Porios. I have to have Storios, and if you don't know what that is, that's where you walk around the store and eat as many as you can and then ditch the bag so you don't have to pay for it. And thank God they got that new resealable top now. That works. But that's probably why women find me unattractive until they find out how much money I make. Brian, I'm not getting paid. Which, when they find out how much money I make, they find me unattractive and broke. Yeah, that's what I said. Oh. It's like a guy without Viagra. Oh. But what was bad about that is I recently had my identity stolen. That's not even the bad part. The bad part is that they sent it back. With a letter that said, after further review of the 3 major credit bureaus, we're sorry to have to deny the theft of your identity. That's when you know you've hit rock bottom. But I think that when they steal someone's identity, the owner of that identity should have the option of taking it back or making them fucking keep it, because I would make them keep it. I'd say, hey, I didn't choose it, buddy. You did. You keep it, and you better pay that fucking child support, you deadbeat dad. It's a whole new start for me right now. But I did actually recently save up enough money to buy a new house. Thank you. Does anybody else see this, or am I just fucking tripping? It's like, damn, a flashback from high school. Acid. Yeah, so I recently bought a new house, and it's a bouncy house. So my kids love to come over and jump on the bed. Okay. Yeah, I ran into an old friend from high school the other day, and he was like, dude, man, I wish we could go back to being in high school. So that was so awesome. I'm like, dude, I was glad to fucking get the fuck out of there. Why would you want to go back? I said, if I was ever going to go back to any time in my life, I'd want to go back to when I was like 6 or 7, when life was easy, when you were a kid. All you really had to do as a kid is go play with your friends and make sure you were home by the time the streetlights came on, right? Of course, I lived in the country. We didn't have streetlights. I just had to be home by the time the sun went down. And not dark, because if I was 1 minute late, I got my ass spanked. It wasn't like these kids today that have timeout. Do you know what I would have given for a timeout? My sister's life. I'm telling you. These kids today don't know. If I came home and there was no excuses, they didn't ask why you were late. And if I said, Dad, I got hit by a car, he would have said, well, son, you should have got hit by that car 15 minutes earlier. Get your ass home on time. And I still would have got a whooping. And I see these parents now, they count for the kids. I'm going to count to 3, Joel. I'm like, what the fuck? Hit the little bastard. My dad did. And I didn't turn out so wrong. I still don't get paid, but it's all good. Yeah, these kids are, I mean, it's just bad. I mean, and the only time out I had as a kid was how long it took me to get up off my back after my dad backhanded me. I'd look at my brother and go, how long was I out? And he'd go, 10 seconds. I'd go, okay. And the only counting thing I had was how many punches he threw. Boom, 1, 2. That was it. My parents would tell me, go to your room till you learn how to act. So I would be in there, to be or not to be? That is the question. My dad would come in and go, son, did you learn how to act? And I'd go, I think so. To be or not to be? He'd go, you don't take this seriously? And I'd go, frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. Boom, 1, 2, I'd be back into timeout. I'd get up, look at my brother, and go, how long was I out? He'd go, 30 minutes. I'd go, fuck, he was pissed that time. It's crazy. I mean, the kids today just don't have that discipline. And what's sad about that is one day, one of those kids is going to be our president. Thank God I'll be dead by then. Or I'll be dead on the day that happens. Suicidal. Yeah, I have 2 girls, and having 2 girls as a a guy sucks, because I start thinking I'm still writing apology letters to the fathers of the girls I dated in high school. I'm sorry, I was such a dick and treated you so bad. And I don't want my girls to ever date a guy like me at all. So I've got it all figured out. I just haven't potty trained them. It was always my rule, if they shit themselves, they were going home. I mean, I could see them like going out and, hey, everyone's meeting down at the lake. You want to go down to Lover's Lane? Did you shit yourself? You'd be bringing her right home. I'd be like, thank you very much. They'd be known as the Pooper Sisters instead of the Cooper Sisters. My luck, they'd meet one of those guys, though, that was really into that shit. Yeah, not a good thing. Any married people in here tonight? Yeah? Are you guys doing date night, or... I heard like one guy say, woo, are you by yourself? I mean, most people have to have date night stuff to keep their spunk in their relationship. Date night. Date night. Right now? Sweet. See, my ex-wife, she was a freak. We had to have date rape night. Yeah, and we lived in an apartment, so what we would do is I'd go around the back, crawl in the window and do my thing, and then crawl back out. And it worked good for a couple days, until I found out I was crawling in the wrong window. So, needless to say, I got a divorce and moved in with the neighbor. And believe it or not, then he wanted a commitment. I said, look, dude, I know I'm not gay, all right? Because I sucked a dick and I didn't like it. Do you know that they don't have gay farmers in San Francisco? They just have Jolly Ranchers. I heard. They're changing the HOV lane there to the HIV lane. A lot of rear endings going on, I guess. But if you're going to be having sex and stuff, you guys need to use condoms. Be safe. I stopped one night and bought a box of condoms on my way to visit a girl, and the clerk asked me, he said, you need a bag to go with that? I said, no, she's not that fucking ugly. He said, the bag is for you, douche. I said, oh, give me 2 then. But if you're going to use a condom, you may need a lubricant. If you're going to have anal sex, do not use toothpaste. It gives a whole new meaning to fighting cavities. And my ass is still burning. I had a girlfriend one night, she said, why don't I be Burger King and you be McDonald's and I'll have it my way while you're loving it? I said, why don't I be Subway and you be Wendy's and I'll stick my foot long and you're hot and juicy? So now that I've messed up all you guys' fast food fetishes, make sure you get extra napkins on the way home. Sex is crazy. Women think that men only want sex, and that's not true at all. We also want a blowjob. so we could work that out. We'd give you a hand, but that's the whole point. To not have to. See where I want to go with that one. Right to bed. So as you get older and stuff, I've realized that getting older sucks because you get hurt from nothing. I mean, I'm walking around at work one day. I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? They're like, man, what happened? Did you get in an accident or something? No, man, I pulled a muscle in my back tying my shoe. Or you driving your car and you look over your shoulder like, oh shit. Pulled a muscle in my neck. So for the rest of the day, you're like this. It sucks. And then not only that, but then you start to lose your hearing. Women think that we have selective hearing and we don't. We have mixed hearing. Women have selective hearing. My wife was talking to me one night. She said something schmeckmillion. I said, what is schmeckmillion? She goes, I don't know. What is schmeckmillion? I said, you just said I schmeckmillion. She said, no. I said, you should be a comedian. I said, well, why would you call it schmeckmillion? She goes, I didn't. I said, well, that's what I heard. But if you're ever driving around with a woman or you're talking to her and you're talking about something serious and they're not even listening to you at all, and you notice and you're like, you're not even listening to me, are you? Uh-huh. I've been banging your best friend for 6 months. Uh-huh. I have AIDS. Uh-huh. And you just turn your head a little and just mumble, bitch. She goes, what did you just say? You just called me a bitch? You heard that shit, didn't you? But then not only that, but we lose our memory. I don't know how many times in a day I'm walking around my house going, I gotta write this down before I forget. I gotta write this down before I forget. What was I gonna write down? Shit. And if I do write it down, I forget where I wrote it and where I put it. So it doesn't even matter. But the bad part about that is that we forget all the important things, the things that we tell ourselves, don't forget. I forgot. But we remember all the shit we should forget. Like when I was a kid, I grew up on a farm, I would like to forget about the time that my parents let me milk our bull. It takes all day, folks, to get a little bit of milk out of that. I'm going to go out on a whim here and say that that's probably the reason I don't like milk or beef stroganoff. I'd also like to forget about the time I got pulled over in California and the cop comes up to the car and he goes, can I see your driver's license? And I hand it to him and he goes, oh, you're from Arizona? He goes, are you a native? I go, no, man, I'm Caucasian. It should say that right there. He goes, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to be honest with me. Don't lie to me. He said, have you had anything to drink tonight? I said, yes. He said, what have you had? I said, I had a Dr. Pepper earlier and I got an iced tea right here. He goes, if I search your vehicle, am I going to find anything illegal? I said, no, sir, everything is paid for. Even the drugs. He was getting mad. He goes, how would you like to go to jail tonight? I said, no. Tonight's not good. I got to work tomorrow. But thanks for asking. Catch me on a Friday, maybe we go work it out. He goes, you're a real freaking smartass. He goes, what do you think, you're a fucking comedian? Yes, I do. So, on top of that, any reality TV people in here like to watch reality TV? Anyone? One person? And good thing those shows are all still on the air then. I was on reality TV. I was on Repo Games. It's like one step above Cops. If I would have missed one more payment, I would have been on Cops. Any reality TV people for Pawn Stars? Any Pawn Star fans in here? Another one. We're like singles here. Is this a singles thing, by the way? Because I'm wearing a condom. Came prepared. Thanks to the clerk at that store. But if you've ever watched Pawn Stars, and if you haven't, you'll notice this, that the owner, Rick, whenever he's evaluating something that he doesn't know the value of, one, always has to call someone in to come take a look at it, and two, always looks like he has to take a shit. He's always like this. What do you want to do with this? You want to pawn it or sell it? You mind if I call a buddy to come in and take a look at it? He knows a lot more about it than I do. Like, that's weird. I go, I can imagine him being with a girl and he's kissing down her belly and everything. He gets down there. What do you want to do with this? You want to pawn it or sell it? You mind if I call a buddy to come in and take a look at it? He knows a lot more about it than I do. And that's my time, folks. I'm Joel Cooper. Thank you guys very much.